All right, welcome back. Welcome back. So I'm gonna read this story out to you guys. I want to hear your thoughts. So pay attention. So I get a lot of emails and DMs. The issue is that when people are typing in DM, okay, the issue is that people type this very long. I used to, if you remember, I used to use AI tools to shrink it down and then pick out the Google and then read it, but I feel like it's missing elements. So recently I said, okay, I want to maintain the nuances of those stories, and they tend to be long. When people type them out like that, they tend to be long. So occasionally I will still bring this kind of story so that we can all learn from them. These are people that watches Man of Prestige or Lola and Ola or being to the blog, and they decide to send an email in to ask for advice. All right, so trapped in a broken marriage, here's how to break free. Well, let's see if I can address it. I'm actually going to be reading this with you guys. It's a little bit long, but let's see. I'll be stopping and I'll be giving commentary. Remember, I don't have the full context, so I'll be nitpicking stuff, naturally speaking, but this is just to get some lessons here and there. All right, so shall we? Let's get into it. Finding strength to leave a broken marriage. All right, so, and I quote, I was hoping and praying that all would be well with my home. Yesterday, I came to the painful realization that prayers cannot change a man who does not want to change or who is set in his own ideology. My husband told me plainly, and I quote, my words are final in this house as your husband. He added that living in Europe has confused me about how things are done in Nigeria and accused me of behaving too strong. This conversation started because I told him I was unhappy with his actions and attitude toward me. I explained that I do not feel heard or seen by him, and I even used a specific incident to illustrate my feelings. Unfortunately, I am married to a man who struggles to understand me. I want to walk you through what happened, our conversations, how we met, and my family background. I believe opening up will help me find clarity. I want to be clear. My husband is not evil. He may be acting under some influence, or perhaps he pretended to be someone else before marriage. I'm not perfect either. I may have contributed to some of the pain I now feel. But I'm afraid for my daughter and son. I don't want my daughter to experience what I have endured. And I don't want my son to grow up and cause another woman such pain. I believe in good marriages, even those that go through challenges without becoming miserable. I desperately want help to navigate this. The argument that led to his harsh words was over a cleaner. I had told my husband earlier that when I visited him with our child in another city, I had arranged for trusted family friends to help clean our apartment. Okay, she put some name here. I'm going to leave out the names. They had been helping us since our marriage, and I also work as a cleaning vendor. He initially agreed, though he said we should not send the keys, but wait until one of us could supervise. I didn't like this, but agreed. Suddenly, he told me he preferred his old cleaner from before our marriage. I was surprised because we had already agreed with the named people that were helping them before, right? He insisted on calling his man, saying the cleaner was trusted. I reminded him I wasn't comfortable with strangers in our private rooms, especially with my documents, personal items, and work equipment lying around. I suggested his cleaner could only come under, let me give them name. I'm not going to use our names here. Let's go with Bola and Kola. Okay, so the cleaners that she prefers is Bola and Kola. Okay, I didn't want to use the name she used here. So I'd already agreed with Bola and Kola. He insisted on calling his man, saying the cleaner. Okay, so especially with my documents, personal items, and work equipment lying around, I suggested his cleaner could only come under Bola and Kola's supervision. He reluctantly agreed. But the next day, he went ahead and sent his cleaner to the house without supervision. When I asked, he lied that his sister was watching over things, but I knew she couldn't be there. I felt disrespected, unheard, and unsafe. When I confronted him, he dismissed my concerns, insisting that he was the man of the house and that what he says is final. Instead of addressing my worries, he went silent, maliciously mute. This is not the first time. Even when I tried breaking the silence by asking about a nanny for our children, he turned it into insults. Later, I found out through our brother that he had flown back with a female colleague. Cozy and cheerful in a way he never is with me. I had seen this before when I surprised him at his office. His warmth and laughter with those women compared to his coldness with me. When I told him I wanted a divorce, he said he was tired too and wanted one as well. He mocked me, saying I behaved like a strong woman. I'm guessing like a masculine woman by using the word strong woman. Because I once supported him financially, he accused me of recording our conversations to paint him as evil. He even threw baseless accusations at me, suggesting I was unfaithful with doctors or politicians. This broke my heart. I had always been transparent, telling him when men approached me, sharing any gifts or money with him to show loyalty. I defended his honor fiercely, even swearing by my life that he was faithful only to later discover he was not. Oh, there's more. Are you guys ready to advise? Everybody's quiet. Listen to. Do you guys enjoy my late night storytelling voice? You guys are all quiet and all. What's wrong with you now? The numbers are not decreasing. Just listening. Anyway, let's continue. My husband has been unfaithful. I discovered messages, late night calls, and affectionate exchanges with other women. Even with evidence, he denies everything. He also hides his true income from me. One day, I saw his bank details by accident and realized he earned triple what he told me. Yet he rarely gives me personal upkeep. And when he does, he complains. This was especially painful because I had once given him full access to my own funds while supporting him through school in the UK. I sacrificed my tuition savings, upkeep, and parental support to ensure his success. I believed his promises that his money will be my money when he succeeded. Instead, he now locks his phone from me, shouts when I ask questions, and says his money is none of my business. There are brothers listening to me right now. I want you to listen to this. This could be your wife narrating her experience with you, right? You might be able to connect the dots and see that, my wife could narrate her experience with me like this, even though that wasn't my intentions, but maybe I've lost myself. Maybe she has some things that she's done that I resent as well, but maybe she will be narrating her experience with me. I failed as a man. I need to do so, even though it's not 100% my fault. That's not what I'm saying to myself. It's not about fault or blame. It's about picking up the pieces that are scattered in my home. It's my responsibility as a man to do something. You could be a brother and you're listening this way. I want you to know that I'm with you, because trust me, that's the honorable thing to do. It's not about who's to blame or who's at fault. It's not about that. It's about making sure that you keep your household together, because there's enemies everywhere looking around. We scatter it. Now you might be blindfolded by the enemy. You might have to scatter first before you realize that that's not what you want. But why would you want to wait until that happens? Anyway, this could be your wife telling her story already to someone seeking help by any way, by any means, looking for help, right? But you're there, you say she should be held accountable too, but she was at fault too. But I know, I agree. Whatever you said, you're right. There's my sound effect here.
Oh, you're right.
But this is effectively your household scattering in front of your eyes, and all you want to be is right. Okay, let me just warn you, the winners in this world, they don't focus on right. It's the losers that focus on being right and wrong. I just want you to know that. Put that in your pocket first. Let me continue everything I'm saying here. I'm going to come to the lady, okay? But she's the one telling us our story, and I want to honor the story completely first, okay? All right, let's keep moving. Honestly, I had told her to summarize. It's too much, I didn't read, but I appreciate the detail, because I think a lot of people can learn from this. All right, let's keep going. So he now locks his phone from me, shouts when I ask questions, and says his money is none of my business. Our intimacy is almost non-existent. In a year, he touches me less than 10 times. He makes excuses, headaches, tiredness, or sleep. Whenever we do have sex, I often end up pregnant. Eesh, ouch. Meanwhile, he admits to relieving himself by masturbation. Well, this has left me lonely and broken. I began exploring self-pleasure and even bought devices, though I hardly use them. Because that's not what you want, right? You want intimacy with your husband. People I confided in suggested he was having sex elsewhere, but I also defended him until the evidence proved me wrong. The deepest cut is how he treated me after childbirth. I am just 2 months postpartum from an emergency C-section, yet he continues with his silence, disrespect, and infidelity. Even when I asked him to at least call to see our newborn, he ignored me. When I spoke to one of his elder sisters about my suffering, she told me to manage it, that men are like that, and that hers was worse. You should be leaving your comments and your thoughts as I'm reading this so that I can come through them. Okay? He advised me to stay for the children. Of course. My father, however, listened when I confessed everything and expressed my regrets. That's a father. Yeah. Looking back, I feel used. I met my husband in 2009. When we were both students, I supported him with love, resources, and sacrifice, believing we were building a future together. I even worked hard to make my parents accept him, presenting him as a sincere and full of vision. But today I see the reality: betrayal, manipulation, emotional neglect, and abuse hidden under the guise of being the man. I cry when I remember how much I defended him, how I carried the marriage on my shoulders, and how he now treats me like a burden. I don't want to continue living like this. I don't want my children to grow up in such a toxic environment. For my sanity and their future, I am determined to leave this marriage. All right, so if this is you, you know yourself, you can continue. I know I told you to continue, okay? That I have a feeling now, I have a conviction now that this is going to help someone. So continue in the messages to because I told you to stop it there, continue, but it needs to be text. I will not do if you send me voice notes, I will not listen. The more it consumes my time, the more likely I won't touch it. Okay, at that point you have to pay for it, obviously. But let me see that's what I have so far, guys. What are your thoughts? I'm coming to the comments. If you don't have thoughts, I'm going to go back to the beginning and start dissecting them line by line. Chinya said, we are listening. Chinya said, never you swear on your life about any human. We are here. Well, it's almost 2 a.m. for me. It's lullaby. Did I make you probably slept off already? I used to sing, I don't know what lullaby is exactly, but I remember I used to sing that song to my son. My son is now 17. I used to sing la 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 la, see to myself, la 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 la. No sleep, no sleep. Who's sleeping there? Oh, more. That's a long story. All right, so here's what I want to do. Feel free to share your thoughts, but I'm going to go to the first line and see if I can dissect. There's a lot of things that she said that she can learn. The overall I can tell you right now is that she's lost herself. When you've lost yourself, and I feel very sorry for what she's going through, because I feel her. I feel that pain. You know, I feel that pain. But she needs to grab a hold of herself. You know, she needs to be intentional. Need to be intentional with respect to emotional intelligence, right? She needs to be intentional about the marriage, about the fact that she needs to build the marriage, but she's not going to build the marriage without building herself. It's always going to fall apart if you build the marriage and don't build yourself. Okay, the main foundation here is you, and obviously him too, right? But we're not going to worry about him yet, because obviously you've been worrying about him way too much. Okay, you see, when I stopped in the middle and I kind of like spoke to the men a little bit, because I felt it. I felt like somebody in there to hear that. But in general, you that you're telling the story is the one I want to empower. Okay, you're the one in control of your life. Okay, everything else is all better off. Unfortunately, in love and war, they say all is fair. Well, I want you to play that fairness game to yourself. Be fair to yourself. I want you to start with that. Be fair to yourself. Okay, whatever it is that you have to deal with, that's your personal responsibility as a human being, is all I want you to be concerned about for now, for the next 1 year. For the next 1 year, you're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth the next 1 year to make sure that the rest of your life is quality, right? If it doesn't belong there, he will self-eject. Okay, and you will be clear that it doesn't belong there. Right now, you're confused because you know what? Rejection breeds obsession. Right? Yeah, he's the one that's not wanting to do. He's the one that's doing the silent treatment. So he thinks he has an upper hand right now. Wait until your eyes is cleared, and then his eyes will get clear. Do you understand? So the first thing first right now is yourself. It's, and baby steps. That's why I say 1 year. 1 year of consistent behavior. Okay, there's certain habits that you have that you must change. You cannot afford to put another human being ahead of yourself. You can't. No one can afford it. You must have it. You cannot afford to be pouring from an empty cup. It will empty out completely, and yes, it will affect your children too. That's what I smell in all of this narration. In fact, again, you're telling me all of this. I want you to, if it's just so you can get it out, get it out. Okay, but some of us, when we're going through this kind of stuff, every chance you get to tell the story, you tell everybody. That's toxic. That is still a telltale sign that you're living your life for him. And that's not fair to you, is it? It's not fair. Chinya says postpartum with C-section is not a joke. It's tough. Every time you sleep together, you get pregnant. That's tough. I know people personally like that. You find yourself, they have 6 children. And people will ask them and say, how did you have 6 children? How can you have 6 children with people you claim that you don't want to be with anymore? Because every time they had sex, they get pregnant. I've seen so many of that. There's at least one of the couple that's always shocked, that's trying to use the 6 children to manipulate the other person. That's, no, you can't say me you didn't love me. No, they could have had 7 children for you and they never loved you. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. So, but let me go back line by line. Let me see if we can extract some more stuff from this. Wow. I was hoping and praying that all would be well with my home. Yesterday, I came to the painful realization that prayers cannot change a man who does not want to change or who is set in his own ideology. I do subscribe to prayers. Prayer, patience, purpose, PPP. Prayer. I have a. Is that the third P? Man, I need to be doing this more often, guys. Well, we can always look it up. The 3 P's: prayer, patience, and process. I subscribe to that. But the purpose of the prayer is not to magically change another human being. That's not the purpose of the prayer. The purpose of the prayer is to give you the strength, because you're going to gain strength, as a matter of fact, as you continue to exercise that strength and you pray to get through time, right? The prayer, people use prayer in Nigeria to do magic. They just change a human being or change a situation, and they don't want to do the work. You know what the scripture says about prayer without work, right? What does the scripture says about prayer without work? I can't complete it. I'm not a Bible scholar. Help me. Prayer without work. I know it says something that's empty. Something last one. Something empty. Right? So if you're going to use prayer, the angle of that prayer in the first place is already all wrong. It shouldn't be about trying to change him. Okay? It shouldn't be. But yes, you need to stay engaged with praying. Pray for yourself. Okay? And then in addition to praying for yourself, work must be involved. If work is not involved, it's empty. Okay? It's vanity upon vanity. Okay? So it's no wonder. And then you feel drained. It's no wonder why you feel drained. Right? So it came to the painful realization that prayers cannot change a man who does not want to change and who is set to his own ideology. No, he will change. The question is that in what direction will he change? Something has to change. What you have going on is not sustainable. Something has to change. The question is in what direction will it change? Okay. So my husband told me plainly, my words are final in this house. As your husband, he's probably has been listening to a bunch of weirdos on TikTok that are going through the same pain of not being able to have sex with their wife or not being attracted to their partner, right? He's going through a lot. Don't get it twisted. He's going through a lot. That's not a pass. That's actually worse than a pass. But what makes it worse is that he doesn't know what to do with himself and his household. He doesn't have the skills. So you might think he's having a good time. He goes jack off for 20 minutes in the bathroom and comes out, and you think that's a good time? No, there's no man that wants to be like that. He probably doesn't know what to do with himself. That's not a pass. It's no wonder why he has nothing to pour into you. So what should you do about it? Nothing? Are you his savior? Why don't you save yourself first? Save yourself. Because I don't know. He might just be a wicked psychopath too, right? Like just, most women going through this will say he's just a wicked person. He's been pretending. She said it. He's been pretending. Probably not. He's probably just as confused as you are. Okay? But does that mean you should go and be trying to save him? No. Save yourself. Save yourself. Save yourself, period. And if he belongs there, he will save himself. If he doesn't belong there, he will get worse and worse. And you too, you will get a grasp for yourself. And trust me, this life has so much more to present, including love. Okay? Including love. He added that living in Europe has confused me about how things are done in Nigeria and accused me of behaving too strong. He's been listening to weirdos. Okay? If he gets to a point now you call police on him, he said, I told you. It's all these women that call police when they get to the Western. He will do a bunch of I told you. But he was just a confused person. All right? Worse for him. Because right now you send this message, you're going to be fine. I promise you. Okay? This conversation started because I told him I was unhappy with his actions and attitude towards me. Let me guess, you were trying to do communication. I know. So many people try that. If you just communicate, you heard somewhere like just communicate. And so you went there, and what did you do? You explained that I do not feel heard or seen by him, and I even used a specific incident to illustrate my feelings. Unfortunately, you're married to a man who struggles to understand you. Yeah. You thought your explanation was going to change that? Yeah.
We go explain because no evidence.
Thank you, Jared. Yeah. Dead. All right, so let's continue. I want to walk you through what happened, our conversations, how we met, my family backgrounds. I believe opening up will help me find clarity. I want to be clear, my husband is not evil. They all do this. All of you do this. Okay? Men or women, all my clients, they do this. They try to defend the person. I don't want to seem like I'm painting them a bad picture. You couldn't tell me it's evil. I wouldn't accept it anyway. You couldn't tell me. But I want you to know that this is a pattern. Okay? You're like, I just want you to know it's not really an evil person, but me too, I could have been at fault a little bit. This is a talking, it doesn't tell us anything. Scatter it. Okay? Everybody says the same thing when they are looking for help. They say those same lines. I'm not saying it is just them, but it's not. My husband is a good father. He's a good father. But tell me the but. I want to hear the rest of the story. Give me the but. He may be acting under some influence now. Okay, your influence. You don't know what you're doing too. It's acting under your influence as well. But what do you mean influence? What did I do to him? It's called influence. It's not control. Influence. You are influencing him. You just don't know. That's why he's acting mad. You do have the power of influence over him. If you didn't have the power of influence over him, why would he just randomly get angry and be insulting you? That's influence. So you don't know what you're doing with the power that you have too. Or perhaps he pretended to be someone else before marriage. I'm not perfect either. I told you that was coming. I may have contributed some of the pain I now feel. I wouldn't put it that way. It's not a matter of fault or blaming yourself. Guilt will destroy your chances at happiness. So there's no way that if you're thinking guilt, it was my fault, I want you to dismantle all of that. It is what it is. These are your experiences, and you're going to build some muscles with them and create better quality of life for yourself. That's the angle I want you to be thinking. Not that I contributed to my pain. I could see your face saying that to yourself. You feel so sad. I get it. But you need to snap out of that as soon as possible. It's not going to be a snap. It's going to be a process. She said, but I'm afraid for my daughter and son. I don't want my daughter to experience what I have endured, and I don't want my son to grow up and cause another woman such pain. Yeah, those are all talking points. You never know how your behavior and your relationship between you and your husband is going to influence your children. It's not going to be, you just painted a picture of your own pain with your children. And this is how it starts. You don't want your son to go and cause another pain, another woman. Nah, this is how it starts. Okay? And this is how manipulating your kids starts. Focus on you, what you feel. Focus on making sure within the next 1 to 2 years, you change the direction of your love life, particularly your life, holistically, so that so your children can actually have good examples to watch, at least in you. All this, you don't want your daughter to experience what you've endured and all this. This is how you become a baby feminist on the internet and hate men. Because you're not addressing the real issue. Let's get back to the real issues. Okay? You didn't know what you were doing. You've also admitted to it though. You didn't know what you were doing. You attracted a boy child, a man, call a man. Guess what? It's not just you. We all do it. People that say I do, they don't know what they're doing. It's true across the board. All of them fall yakata. What 2 years later, average 18 months later on, everything will scatter. So it's not just you and your husband. It's just time that you say I'm gonna get this right. First, starting with me, with you as an individual. So it's not just you. All right. But your kids, just make sure in terms of your kids, the working on yourself is the best thing you can do for your kids at this point. Don't bring all these statements. I want my daughter to experience the same pain what you endured, and yes, you endured stuff. but you can change that. Okay, you can change that. I believe in good marriages, even those that go through challenges without becoming miserable. see how you painted the picture that there's a marriage out there that haven't gone through misery. There's no marriage that have not gone through their fair share of misery. You might just never know, because they were lucky enough to pick up the pieces and do some work. Okay, and guess what? It's not it takes two to tango. No, it's one person that usually starts the journey. It's one person that understands the power of influence that starts the journey before it looks like what it looks like. And then today you are telling without becoming miserable. No. Every marriage that you admire out there have gone through, at least one of them have gone through a period where they felt like this is misery. Now, the questions you ask them at the end of that road, whatever you call the end, where they are, where they're happy right now, is that, would they tell you it's all worth it? Yes, they will tell you it's worth it. Because there's nothing in life that's worth doing, that's worthwhile. Right? That's not going to press you like that. That's not going to put pressure on you like that. Okay? She said, I desperately want help to navigate this. The argument that led to these harsh words was over a cleaner. Okay, we talk about all this cleaner stuff. These are the symptoms. It could have been the cleaner, it could have been the house girl, it could have been the gate man. These are the symptom stuff. And we talk about Bola and Kola that was supposed to clean the house for them, right? And all this kind of stuff. And she didn't want Bola. She wanted Bola and Kola. He wanted somebody else. But then he's also lying that the sister was monitoring and all this kind of stuff. Imagine a man who has to lie to his wife. That's obviously a man who is not sure of himself. But again, don't worry about him. Worry about yourself first. You need to find yourself all over again. You need to stop worrying about all this other stuff. But let's talk about this one real quick. She said, instead of addressing my worries, he went silent, maliciously mute. It was a way for him to cope. It's a sign that he didn't know what he was doing too. He's a confused man. A man that does silent treatment in his own home for extended periods of time, having sex only 10 times in a year. That's a confused person. But again, I'm not saying that to you to make you feel bad that you chose wrongly. We don't know that. Okay? Most good marriages that you know today have better that poto at some point in time. It might not be in the form of time in misery. It might be just some painful 2-3 months that were just bad. They might have created a scar that will be there for life. They might have lost a son, Yola Doce. Like there's people go through all kind of stuff before they were able to put it back together, right? Imagine Debanj and his wife. Imagine Davido and his wife, what they went through with losing those kids, right? So everybody's stuff is different, right? What the struggle that every couple will go through is different. The question is that, can you sustain it as a couple? If you're going to sustain it as a couple, it starts with you taking care of yourself first. If you don't do that, eventually something's gonna give. Something's gonna give. So she said, this is not the first time. Even when I tried breaking the silence by asking about a nanny for our children, he turned it into insults. Yeah, this is his way of dealing with his issues. Your way is that you wanted to talk about it. His way is to go silent. It's common. Okay, it's a telltale sign that both of you, especially him, doesn't know what he's doing. Later, I found out through my brother that he had flown back with a female colleague, Cozy. Okay, so he cheated too. All right, I don't want to put too much focus on cheating. The cheating hurts. I can only imagine, right? But at some point, you guys will have to go through what we call, if you put it back together, you have to go through some kind of infidelity recovery process, because that's gonna keep looming over your head and your marriage if it's not addressed properly. But again, right now, it sounds to me that you're willing to fix something, even though at the end of it, you said you are kind of ready to give it all up. Really? Are you sure? Clearly, you're not sure, because when you're ready to give it all up, the emotion you will feel is nothing. It's like more like indifference, right? It's more like you're neither there nor there. You won't have the energy to type this long if you're ready to give it all up. That's why I laugh at baby feminists and the internet. Just leave. Just leave. Is it that easy to leave? He said, this broke my heart. I've always been transparent, telling him when men approached me, sharing any gift, money with him to show loyalty. Wait, what gift and money? Did you receive gift and money from men and shared it with him? What do you mean? I defended his honor fiercely, even swearing by my life that he was faithful, only to later discover that he was not. Yeah. You didn't know what you didn't know. It's okay. My husband has been unfaithful. I discovered messages, late night calls. Well, if he's spending that much time apart from you, yeah, men are probably going to engage other type of behavior. If he doesn't engage women, he will engage drinking, smoking, bad habits. He's going to engage something. Possibly other people. Even with evidence, he denies everything. Well, he probably doesn't even think he owes you that explanation, right? He's taking you for granted because you are just always there, ready to have a conversation. You want to talk about it. You want to express how you feel from here, right? Of course, he's taking you for granted. And what happens at the moment you ask for divorce? He said he too is tired. Of course, he's tired. Not necessarily tired of you, probably of himself. He's probably confused with his life right now. But you're only seeing it as he's the enemy tackling you. If he's the enemy tackling you, he will completely abandon you. He will block you in every line. You won't be able to call him anymore. He's a confused man. That's not an excuse. It's just what it is. Okay? If you're going to use it as an excuse, use it as an excuse to save yourself. Work on yourself. Work on your career. Okay? Work on your career. Work on your purpose in life. Get yourself together. If he belongs there, he will catch up. He will know that you're leaving him behind. It will be the worst thing that will happen to him. It will shock him. But right now, you're just always there. You're exactly where he puts you. You're so predictable. He knows exactly where to find you. If he calls you right now, you'll pick up. You're ready to pick up. Because he's the one that goes silent. Remember, rejection breeds obsession. So he goes silent, and when he's ready to talk, you're ready to talk to you. You're the one trying to break the silence. I know the feeling. So what are you saying, Ola? Should I not try to? No. You see, people do this no contact, and I don't believe in no contact, empty no contact. No. If I suggest anything no contact, it's for you to engage your life mission and purpose. If you don't have a life mission and purpose that is loud, everybody will take you for granted. It will show in the form of lack of self-respect. It will show in the form of low self-esteem. It will show in the form of you don't love yourself. And who wants to love a person that doesn't love themselves? Nobody. Okay? We mimic the way you love yourself. We mimic the way you treat yourself. Okay? This is true across the board, man or woman, it doesn't matter. The way you treat yourself is what we literally copy, like carbon copy paste. So if you are just always there ready to, naturally, I might end up taking you for granted. And this is not the same thing as, we must make sure he loves you more than you. No, that's child play. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about something deeper than some stupid child play on the internet. We're talking about life, mission, and purpose. Something you're willing to put your life on the line for. A life mission, your own calling that God has given to you. You need to find it and engage it. If you don't engage it, you will continue to have time for bullshit, and people will continue to take you for granted, not just your husband. She said our intimacy is almost non-existent. In a year, he touches me less than 10 times. He makes excuses, headaches, tired, and so some people say, it's women that weaponize sex. You can see this example here. It's a man, right? It's a man. Okay, so there's obviously low levels of attraction. But why is the question? Why? I can give you a solid why already. You got too much time in your hands. Okay, outside of course being a mother and all this stuff you dealt with, postpartum 2 months, he said. Outside of that, but this didn't start in the last 2 months. Okay, it didn't start in the last 2 months. It started long before that, and he still continued to keep silence with you, keep malice with you, treating stonewalling you. It's sad. It's sad, but we're not gonna go tap him on the shoulder and do. If we do that, it will get worse. He will resent. It will just get worse. The only thing that can fix this is to understand your power of influence. And it starts with taking care of yourself. Self. Self, okay? She said, this has left me lonely and broken. I began exploring self-pleasure. You see, the reason why you, there's nothing wrong with self-pleasure. It's the purpose behind the self-pleasure that is wrong, okay? So, of course, it's not going to work. That's why I tell people that are very quick to say, and sex toy is sex toy. As a sex toy, it starts, the biggest sex organ is right here. If this is not right, there's no sex toys. It's useless. You have to get this right. She said, though I hardly use them, people I confided in suggested he was having sex elsewhere. Yeah. He's engaged in other activities, but that's the least of your issues right now. The greatest of your issues is you. You notice I didn't say your children. I didn't say your children because I know you're a mother. Okay? I know you're a mother. She said the deepest cut is how he treated me after childbirth. I'm just 2 months postpartum from an emergency section. Yeah, you're going to take care of your child. You're a mother. You're blessed. You're going to take care of your child. You're going to do it. Okay? You're going to do it naturally and gracefully. However, I want you to take care of yourself. We need to work out something that will allow you to take care of yourself in the midst of all that, because naturally you're probably drained with all of that together. When I spoke to one of his elder sisters about suffering, yes, stop talking to his family. His family, they probably can't speak to him, even on other issues. He's probably not a guy that listens to anybody. Okay, so don't even waste your time doing that. Looking back, I feel used. I met my husband in 2009. You feel used? I'm sorry you feel that way. Okay, if you can't be used, then maybe you're useless. Again, remember, I want you to refocus all your energy back on yourself, your life mission, and your purpose. Okay, I'm going to spell it out for you in a second here. Let me finish this. I met my husband in 2000. Did I say 9? Let's call it 18 now. When we were both students, I supported him with love, resources, and sacrifice. Believing we were building a future together, I even worked hard to make my parents accept him, presenting him as a sincere and full future. You did everything you're supposed to do. You're supposed to present a good package. That's what normal human beings do. Stop beating yourself up so much. Why are you beating yourself up? Remember, I told you, you're not the only one that went through this. We all went through in one shape, form, or the other. Some of us cope in the wrongest and the craziest way. Some of us cope by skipping malice. Some of us cope by being loud mouthed. Some people cope by completely infidelity and all this kind of stuff. Does it make it right? Obviously, it's not right. Because if it was right, we won't be having this conversation. I want you to refocus all that energy back on yourself. Stop beating yourself up so much. Just give yourself a pass. Like a one-day pass like this. Like did you kill somebody? Did you kill somebody? You didn't kill somebody now. Now marry now. But today I see the reality: betrayal, manipulation, emotional neglect, abuse. All that angle right there will make you resent not just him, but even yourself more. Do you notice that all of that, you're supposed to kind of resent him and he's the enemy, but you end up resenting yourself even more. It's so much, it consumes too much energy and it's not sustainable. Something will give and we don't know what that looks like. So you need to stop immediately. Stop beating yourself up so badly. Okay? I don't want to continue living like this, and you shouldn't. You deserve better. I don't want my children to grow up in such a toxic environment. Yeah, that's the excuse you're giving yourself to run away from your shadow. You know, if you run from your shadow, it will follow you everywhere you go. Okay? If the answer you're giving yourself is to run away from the marriage, relax. Okay? Because let me make sure. Okay, I'm good. I just saw my signal going down here. People give themselves that excuse to run away from their shadows. They call it the marriage. Your shadow follow. You need to heal before you deal, right? According to Dr. Kingsley, right? You need to heal yourself. You need to start from where you are right now. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Can you afford running away from your situation? Chill, relax. All the work you need to do is not physical. All these physical activities that you want to do, run away. Yeah, take my children away so that they don't live. You already said it sounds like you're doing long distance anyway. Relax. Refocus all the energy back on yourself. Okay? You can literally be sleeping in the same bed and refocus all the energy back on yourself. Now, it'd be hard, But what I'm saying is that what you need to do focus on is not physical activities outside of going to the gym. By the way, you need to sign up for a gym, by the way. Is the mental. This is the part you need to work out. This part of your being, of your well-being, your mental well-being. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our basics here, our fundamentals here. Okay, remember, I start life and relationship lessons from self. For someone like you need to be selfish. There are people I will tell them straight up, don't be selfish. No, you need to be selfless. Okay, so it's not something you can carbon copy paste everywhere. You need to be selfish, probably for the first time in your life. Okay, you need to focus on self. Engage your power. Power is the second thing here, right? Your social skills, you need to beef it back up. You start networking with like-minded people, not people that, oh, you're looking to confide in. I don't want you to go and find a group where not just, misery loves company. That's not what I'm talking about. There's a place for that, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. Okay? Your power of seduction. Okay? You're clearly practicing some kind of anti-seductive behavior here. When you say, I want to have a conversation and just talk about how you hurt me, and you're just, it's shalaye. All that is shalaye. There's a place for communication. Communication requires the right foundation. It requires skill set. Most people that say they are communicating, they're just talkatives. It's just a bunch of talkatives talking about communication. Everybody, communication is key. Communication is key. Do you know what communication is? You don't, obviously, because if you did, he would have listened. It didn't work, did it? It wouldn't work. Just like for most people, it didn't work. Okay. Seduction. I'll give you some breakdown on seduction here right now. Again, it's something that I don't know how you're going to do it with this free session here, but God help you. Hopefully you can pick up some books and read some books. Maybe, Attraction. Emotional intelligence. How are you going to become attractive? Why would anybody want to love on you, lady? Let's use Davido's baby mama's name. Let's call her Sophia. Sophia. Why would anybody love on you right now? There's no real reason. The only reason why anybody would love on you is if you love yourself first. That's the only reason. Nobody wants to love on anybody that doesn't love themselves. How does that show? In your behavior. I just feel like disrespectful. Listen, if you feel that much disrespected, then remove yourself. And I don't mean physically. Put all that energy in working on yourself. Okay? In terms of, let me see here. The anti-seducers. Let me just put this out there for you real quick. Number 2. I smell number 2. Neediness. No, but I'm not needy. I'm just asking him to do the right thing. You are needy. Okay? It's okay. We've all been there. I'm just pointing out what you need to work on. Okay? See finish. You know what the coffee see finish? See finish don't enter. You're being taken for granted. It's as a direct result of being needy. You're readily available. You're predictable. They know your next big move. I understand. No bulla. No intimacy. I understand. But now it's time for you to build yourself. Because once you there's a process you have to go through. That once you finish it, you will enjoy your life all over again. It will be all worth it. I did not say anything about staying with him, but I don't want you to put yourself in harm's way. Okay? Breaking up or just going and file for divorce randomly comes with punishment too. You will collect. Relax, chill. It sounds to me he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Okay, if you have a room in you to be going to be seeking conversation with him after finding out that there was infidelity, then there's more to it than just the infidelity. There's more to it. Okay, particularly from your standpoint. So we want to make sure that you're good first, whatever that looks like, because a lot of people will just, again, if it doesn't belong there, the work you're going to do on yourself, you will self-eject. Self-reject could also be you getting the clarity that this is not it. What the hell was I doing? You get the clarity and you give him paper. But you want to make sure you're good first in terms of being able to take care of yourself before you do something stupid. Because when you type such a long letter at the end, you say, I think I don't want to. No, calm down. Relax. When was the last time you bought yourself something nice that showed up in the mail? When was the last time you went to the gym? No, I'm not talking to her in particular. Just anybody who can relate to with any part of this story. Because she's 2 months. She has a 2-month-old baby. So a lot of things I'm saying might not directly apply to her because this is public anyway, right? I'm just talking in general at this point. Okay. But number 2 and number 6. Talkative and neediness. There you have it. That's all I'm going to share right now today. Yeah, seek wise counsel. Talk to someone. If you can afford me or a paid professional, talk to your pastor. But some of these things can help. Marriott, I'm done. I promise. Minos today, learning. Okay, that's what's up. Any man who abandons his wife in a postpartum situation with C-section has a hardened heart. Yeah. It's remember pride? Pride, right? Would that not fall under pride? A mismanaged pride. You know, when there's a scripture about hardened heart, it's one of my favorite scriptures. I don't remember. I just have a terrible habit of not remembering scriptures, but I know what I'm trying to say. There's a scripture about hardened heart. That thing is real. Most people think of it from a standpoint of a good or a bad person. You know, why is it so painful when a partner has a hardened heart? Because you've seen the best side of this person before. That frame of reference is what really hurts you even the most. Because if it's just a wicked person coming off the street that has a hardened heart, there's no surprise there. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. The reason why it hurts is because you trusted a human being to not have a hardened heart. It's real Ochinye, but this is what people do to themselves when they don't know what they're doing inside of a relationship. That's what they do to themselves. Okay. So again, context. The full I've seen enough context. It now needs to be about every move that she makes, like the micro, small moves. What's the next move you want to make? Why? What's the next move you're about to make? Why? Right? The idea of having the patience to think it through long term. What's the long-term impact? What's the short-term impact? All right, I decided I'm going to move this way. Right? You have to do that for a while before it becomes second nature so that you can get back into your feminine energy as a lady. Initially, it's going to be a bunch of masculine behavior. You're probably doing it already. When you're hungry like this, eventually you want to protect yourself. You go back and forth. You're showing him shege because you already told me slightly that maybe I had it to my pain. Never mind anything that looks like, anything that looks like guilt, blame, shaming, insult, particularly from you as a person, is going to be poison. You can see the poisons on the screen. Shaming, guilt. Okay, forgive yourself now. You're forgiven. Forgive yourself immediately. It's easier said than done, but do it. Forgive yourself now. Whatever you thought you did wrong, forgive yourself. What about him? Never mind him for now. Don't worry about him for the next 3 months. Don't bring him into your conversations for the next 3 months minimum. But we live together. Hey, you have baby together. Okay, good. You can check on his baby, sure. But what about you? What about you? Don't you think you deserve better? Don't bring the kids into it with all that, I don't want my kids to, all that, lose all that conversation immediately. Lose all that self-talk. Focus on you. Forgive yourself. Whatever you think you did, forgive yourself. Let it go. Let it go. And yes, by the way, let him go. I don't mean physically. If he's paying rent, let him continue to pay the rent. If he's taking care of certain needs or, the tangible stuff, protector, provider, let him continue to do that. But look at the resources at your disposal right now. As a woman, how can you build yourself first? Lose the needy behavior. Stop starting conversations with him. If you want to be silent, let him be silent in peace. 2 weeks in a row at least. Let him go. I promise you've never allowed him to go for straight 2 weeks without interrupting the process. Let him go for straight 2 weeks before you say something. And if you're going to say something, act normal. Act like okay. Are you all right? Okay? Just like let him take care of himself too. If he's jerking off in the bathroom, allow him to jerk off in peace. I'll be waiting on self, no? But for the next 1 year, it's about you. It's about you. Why 1 year? That's just our magic number, okay? Do 1 year. You need it for yourself. You have the rest of your life ahead of yourself. What about the baby? Well, what about the baby? It's your baby, right? Your mother, right? I don't need to teach you what to do on that one. For the first time ever, he will know that, and that's not the goal. The objective is self. The objective is self. End of story. The objective is not to get him to behavior. I'm the one sharing that secret with you, that you are influencing him, either you know it or not. I'm the one sharing that secret, but lose that, because if you're not careful, that becomes expectations. The expectation is self. You are the objective. Build your life. You know, the magic thing there is that if you build yourself, it's like water. You know, anything that belongs there will flow, will rise with it. If it doesn't rise, it either drain you or they will catapult themselves out of your life and you will be happy about it. Right now, you might feel, because of the obsession, that that's not what you want, even though you told me you want out. But you know me, I know these things, right? Whatever it is, take care of yourself. Okay, so you need to do some certain things, some small things to start taking care of yourself. Like I said earlier, sign up for a $10 gym membership immediately. It doesn't matter if you only go 10 minutes in a week. It needs to be outside of the house. It cannot be in the basement. I'm sorry. You need to step out of the house. What about work? Oh, you don't have a job? Okay, start applying. Oh, you don't have any skill set? Well, start educating yourself. There's a ton of YouTube videos on what to do, on how to build yourself, on how to get a career. Right now, if you go to my Empire Pro, our other sister channel, I'm starting to talk about real estate, that you can start from scratch, that you can build a business for yourself, even with no money. It's just a matter of, do you have it in you? There's opportunities. There's opportunities everywhere. You just have to take your eyes off of whatever that thing you thought was a prize, because why would you need to lie to protect his honor or whatever like that? Why would you need to do that? That shouldn't have been a hard work for you. That shouldn't be something you're resenting today. Well, it is what it is. But let's get back. Today, the next best time to work on your marriage, you know, people like to say, what were you looking at? Did you not see the red flag? Whatever. We all saw the red flag. We didn't want to see it as red flag. All of us. We saw the red flag. We just pretend it was green. Right? Number one red flag. Right? We saw it. We didn't want to see it. You're just a human being like the rest of us. Forgive yourself. The next best time is today. The next best time to vet properly is today. You know what I'm saying? So, any questions? Is this how your sessions? No, my sessions are usually me listening, because I need proper context. My sessions are usually me listening. Okay. Yes, that would give him a little shock. Absolutely, Chinye. Absolutely. But that's the hardest part about it, because it takes patience to wait through that process. And sometimes that patience is going to feel like forever in the beginning, because remember, you're trying to build. Building is always more difficult. Destroying everything is easy. Building is always more difficult, particularly when you say you build yourself. That oftentimes it's eventually, for people, it actually sounds like a broken record. Okay, I think build yourself, but it's a real thing. If you don't do it, you end up inside of all kind of poto. All right, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let me look at my schedule. I think I'll be back here on Thursday. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I think we'll be back at 11 a.m. on Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're brand new here, hit the like button, share, subscribe. No, if you're brand new here, subscribe to become Prestige family. If you're not brand new here, I love you. Hit the like, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, all that stuff. Share it with somebody, okay? We're dropping videos. Make sure you're catching up on the videos. We're dropping shorts. Make sure you're sharing them as you see them, all right? Shout out to Chinye, Marriott, Life with Natu, Jum, Natu, who else was here? Abby slept off. I put Abby to sleep with my storytelling. And shout out to the young lady who sent this. She's also part of the Prestige family. I think she's gonna be fine. Let's see here. Who else was here? All right. That's all. That was us. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. I'll see you guys on the next one. And peace.
It's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.